If you've been looking for the best Sony lens for video, you know the struggle is real. There are way too many options, and honestly, most of them aren't worth the hype. I spent my own money and spent weeks shooting with these 5 lenses to see which ones actually deliver. Let's get into what's worth your cash.
Product number 1. Tamron 17 to 70mm f2.8 Di3A VC RXD. When I first pulled this Tamron out of the box, the first thing I noticed was the weight. It's got some heft to it, but it feels solid, like it can actually survive a day of run-and-gun shooting. For an APS-C lens, this thing is a beast because it covers that 17 to 70mm range with a constant f2.8 aperture. While I was out filming some B-roll at a local park, the vibration compensation really saved my footage. Tamron says they use AI for the video stabilization, and while I can't see the brain working, I can tell you the handheld shots looked way smoother than I expected. The 17mm wide end is perfect for vlogging, and zooming into 70mm gave me that nice compressed look for portraits without having to swap lenses. I also tried some close-up shots of flowers, and the focus distance is wild. You can get as close as 7.5 inches at the wide end. The autofocus is quiet too. I didn't hear any annoying motor whirring in my audio. If you're a Sony APS-C shooter, think A6400 or ZV-E10, and you only want to carry one lens that does everything from wide vistas to tight interviews, this is the one I'd grab. It's basically the Swiss Army knife for video creators. It's weather sealed too, which gave me peace of mind when a light drizzle started during my test.
Product number 2. Sony FE 50mm f1.8. This little nifty 50 is almost hilariously light. It's mostly plastic, which makes it feel a bit like a toy compared to the Tamron, but that's also its superpower. I barely felt it in my bag. It's designed for full frame, but it works fine on APS-C too. The real reason I picked this up was for that f1.8 aperture. I took it into a dimly lit coffee shop to see how it handled low light, and the bokeh is genuinely pretty. It has a 7-blade circular aperture that makes background lights look soft and creamy, not distracting or jagged. If you're trying to get that cinematic look where the background just melts away, this does it for a fraction of the cost of other lenses. Now, I'll be honest, the autofocus isn't the fastest in this lineup. It's a bit chatty, meaning you might hear the motor if you're using the on-camera mic, but for static talking head shots or planned B-roll where you want that shallow depth of field, it's hard to beat the value. I'd recommend this specifically for students or anyone just starting out who needs a fast lens without breaking the bench. It teaches you how to move your feet instead of relying on a zoom ring. It's not fancy, but it gets that blurry background everyone craves. Product number 3. Sony E55 210mm f4.5 to 6.3 OSS. Holding this lens feels a bit different because it's quite long and thin. It's a dedicated telephoto for APS-C cameras. When I was testing this, I went to a local skate park to see if I could catch some action from a distance. The zoom range is impressive. It's like having a telescope on your camera. What surprised me most was how quiet the internal focusing is. Usually budget zooms are loud and clunky, but this one stayed silent while I was tracking skaters. The Optical SteadyShot, OSS, is the MVP here. When you're zoomed all the way into 210mm, even a tiny handshake looks like an earthquake, but the built-in stabilization kept the frame steady enough to be usable for handheld video. It's not a low light king by any means. With that f4.5, 6.3 aperture, you're going to want to use this outdoors or in well-lit gyms. But for sports or nature videography, it's a great companion. I loved being able to stand way back and still get tight shots of the action without getting in anyone's way. If you already have a standard kit lens and you're feeling limited because you can't reach your subject, this is the logical next step. It's affordable, lightweight for its size, and the stabilization makes it actually viable for handheld video. Product number 4. Sony FE 2470 f2.8 G Master. This is the big guns. The moment I snapped this onto my camera, I could feel the pro-grade build. It's heavy, it's metal, and it feels like it could take a beating. This is a full-frame lens,
and it's basically the gold standard for professional videographers. During my testing, the sharpness blew me away. I shot some architectural details, and the texture in the brickwork was just incredible thanks to the XA and ED glass elements. The autofocus is powered by a direct drive SSM motor, which is basically code for instant and silent. It locked onto eyes and faces without hunting once, even when the subject was moving fast. The 9-blade aperture creates a bokeh that is noticeably smoother and more high-end than the cheaper 50mm I tested earlier. It's got a dedicated focus hold button and an AF/MF switch on the barrel, which I used constantly to toggle my focus style on the fly. Is it expensive? Yeah. Is it heavy? Definitely. But if you're doing client work or weddings where you cannot afford to miss a shot, this is the lens you want. It doesn't have built-in stabilization, but on a Sony body with IBIS, it's a dream. This is for the person who wants the absolute best image quality and doesn't mind the extra weight to get it.
Product number 5, Tamron 18 to 300mm f3.5 to 6.3 di3a VC VXD. This lens is kind of a technical marvel. When I held it, I couldn't believe it covered such a massive zoom range, 16.6 times to be exact, while staying relatively compact. It's roughly the size of a soda can, but heavier. I took this on a day trip where I didn't want to carry a bag full of glass. I could go from a wide landscape shot of a valley to a tight close-up of a bird in a tree without ever stopping to change lenses. The VXD linear motor is surprisingly snappy. It didn't feel sluggish even at the long end of the zoom. The image quality stays sharp across the board, which is usually where these all-in-one lenses fail. I noticed a bit of dimming in the corners at 300mm, but nothing that ruined the footage. Like the other Tamron, this one has great moisture resistance, which I appreciated when I was shooting near a waterfall and getting sprayed. The verdict? This is the ultimate travel lens. If you're going on vacation or filming a documentary where you need to be ready for anything instantly, this is your best friend. You sacrifice a bit of light with that f6.3 aperture at the long end, but the sheer convenience of having every focal length in one twist of the wrist is worth it for most creators.
That's the lineup. Each of these has a specific job, whether you're looking for that pro G-Master look or just a simple budget prime. I've put the links to all 5 in the description so you can check the latest prices. Thanks for hanging out.